All right, I'm making a quick video about a critique of indifference curves that I have, specifically how the derivation of consumer demand curves is almost certainly inaccurate. So, just as a bit of a preface, what I see in mainstream economics textbooks, what I see certainly all the time on YouTube, uh, is the derivation of individual consumer demand from and demand curves from their indifference curves between two goods. And in the model that's used of indifference curves, it's almost always two goods that we're talking about. Um, and that's fine if you want to use two goods as just as a model of decision making of how we maximize utility and this and that. But um, my issue isn't just that it's unrealistic to limit it to two goods. You know, that's fine if you want to do it for theoretical reasons. But if you want to derive a demand curve, as so many people on YouTube do, and they do it in often in mainstream economic textbooks, and it's all over the web, is that your demand curve for an individual consumer is just not going to be accurate in the real world. And there's a few reasons why. The chief one is that in the real world, we obviously have a multiplicity of goods, way more than two. So if you take the substitution effect into account, so in the graph here, good Y is reducing in price. Excuse me. So it does make sense, according to this model, that to equalize their marginal utility to price ratios between good Y and good X, that they're going to uh, be attracted to purchase more good Y. Um, but there's every reason to think that in the real world that a person is going to have all sorts of possible other goods they could buy because they're cheaper, or that multiple goods are going to be going on sale at the same time. Um, it's certainly not necessarily the case that um, the person is only going to go towards good Y in a multi-good world. In two, you know, if you're in a universe with two goods, then yeah. Um, but and then taking the income effect into account as well, the the consumer now has more money to spend. Likewise, there's no reason to assume that they're automatically going to spend it on that one good. Again, within the two good system, that's fine. You only have one other good to spend on, um, and you want to maximize your utility. But anyway, point made. What I want to get to also is at the bottom here is that these quantities can't be accurate for that consumer. They're accurate in a world where you only have two goods, but you know, for example, if we imagine good Y is bananas and good X is apples, excuse me, um, then yeah, you get your specific quantities that you do here. But then what if we change apples to kiwi? Then you're going to get new indifference curves, you're going to get new budget lines, and you're going to end up getting different quantities. And obviously you could do that with a million different goods and get different quantities and have no reason to think any of these consumer demand curves are accurate. Um, and I want to emphasize again that I don't see any problem with doing these kind of things, for theoretical interest. You want to do something interesting, but when I see this kind of so many videos on YouTube promoting this, and no one, to be fair, no one's saying that they're accurate. They may be doing it for theoretical reasons, but I teach economics, and I want the model to be able to say something about the real world. Uh, so, in any case, that is critique number one. I do have other critiques, but I will save those for other videos. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave any comments. If I said anything incorrect, feel free to let me know. And if I think I indeed made an error, I will gladly correct it. Take care.